It's MATHCHIKAHAN time! Narito na naman po ang inyong Chikang teacher. Ngayon, ang pag-uusapan po natin ay geometry. We will identify the undefined terms at subset of a line. Ito po ay nasa Quarter 3, Module 1 ng Mathematics 7. After going through this lesson, you're expected to represent point, line, and plane using concrete and pictorial models and illustrate the subset of a line. Let us first identify the undefined terms. Sino-sino ba yung undefined terms? So when we say undefined terms, that are the basic terms that cannot be defined but can be described. Ibig sabihin, wala siyang eksaktong definition pero pwede natin siyang i-describe. Some of these undefined terms in geometry are point, line, and plane. These three terms are used as the basis for defining other terms in geometry. Tandaan po natin na kapag wala tayong point, wala tayong line at plane ay hindi po magpo-form ang iba pang figure sa ating geometry. So, napaka-importante po, especially ng ating points. So, we will identify the undefined terms. Sino ba yon? Then, ano yung description niya? Paano natin siya i-represent? Then, ininame natin siya. Other information for the undefined terms and then concrete and pictorial model. So, kanina po ay nabanggit natin na ang undefined terms natin ay si point, si line, at si plane. So, iisa-isahin po natin siya. So, ang unang undefined terms ay ang tinatawag nating point. Ano po ba ang description niya? Ang sabi dyan, a position in space. O, kapag narinig nyo ang point, ano ba itsura ng point? Di ba po, yun yung tuldok? So, basta nakakita tayo ng tuldok, yun po yung tinatawag nating point. So, paano natin i-represent? So, we can have our representation as point A. Ayan. So, may tuldok tayo. And then, meron siyang A. So, paano natin siya papangalanan? So, a point is named using a capital letter. The representation can be named as point A. So, yung representation natin, pwede natin siyang tawaging point A. Ayan. So, tandaan natin, palagi lamang pong capital letters ang pwede kay point. So, the other information for a point is it has no dimension, no length, no width, no thickness, and does not occupy an area. So, since nasa space po siya, point lang po yan, wala po siyang sukat. Meaning, wala siyang haba, walang laki, walang kapal. Kumbaga, point lang talaga siya kasi pwedeng malaki, pwedeng maliit po ang ating point. So, hindi siya nag-occupy ng area. So, nasa space lang po siya. So, paano natin ipapakita gamit yung concrete? Paano natin napapansin, nakikita sa mga bagay-bagay? One good example is a tip of a needle. Okay? Ma'am, ano po yung tip of a needle? Di ba yung karayom, yung pinakatusok ng karayom? Pwede rin po yung tip of a ballpen, yung tusok ng ballpen. Pwede rin yung mole. Ano po ba yung mole? Pag sinabing mole, yun po yung nunal. Pwedeng nunal, pwedeng maliit, pwedeng malaki. Okay? So, pwede rin pong sand. Yung butil ng sand. Yung butil ng sugar. Yung butil ng salt. So, those are some example ng ating point. Another undefined terms, ayan, is what we call the line. So, ano naman po ang itsura or description natin sa line? So, that is a set of continuous points that extends indefinitely in both directions. Ibig sabihin, tuloy-tuloy lang po yung linya. So, paano natin i-represent? Ayan. So, kung mapapansin natin, meron tayong line at may dalawang arrow po sa magkabilang dulo. Kaya sinabi dyan, extend indefinitely in both direction. Ibig sabihin, pwedeng mag-extend ng napakahaba po yung dalawang arrow. So, nilalagyan na lang natin ng arrow that para masabi natin na nag-extend yung ating line. So, paano natin ini-name ang ating line? Kung ang point po ay capital letter lang, sa line naman po, a line is named using any 2 points on the line with a line over the 2 letters or by using a single lowercase script letter. The representation can be named as, ayan, so pwede siyang pangalanan na line AB, pwede rin po magkabaliktad, line BA. So, pag binasa natin to, line, babasahin nyo muna yung line, at ang representation po nun ay may line sa taas ng letter at dapat may dalawang arrow. Okay? So, kung babasahin natin, line AB. So, pwedeng 2 capital letters or pwedeng line BA or pwede rin po siya ng single letter. Dapat daw po ay nakascript. So, we can name this as line M. So, kadalasan, yung small letter po ay nasa isang side lang ng ating line. Pwedeng nasa left side or pwede rin naman pong nasa left side. Okay? So, ano naman po yung other information para sa ating line? It has no width and no thickness. It is straight and has an infinite length. Okay? So, pwede natin makuha yung length. Pero, wala po siyang width or walang kapal. Walang thickness. Okay? Walang lapad. Pero, meron siyang haba. Okay? So, paano naman po yung concrete and pictorial model? So, one good example is the edge of a ruler. Yung ruler natin, yung gilid ng ruler natin, pwede po yung line. Example ng ating line. Another is a string. Ano naman po yung string? Yung ating mga tali, yung mga tag dito, yung ating sinulid, 'di ba? String po 'yon. So, pagka hinatak niyo yung string, so that will be formed a line. Another is yung ballpen mismo. Yung linya ng ating ballpen, that is also a good example of a line. And the last one is what we call plane. Ayan, hindi po airplane na. Okay? Plane. Okay, so paano naman po yung description niya? That is a set of points contained in a flat surface and extend indefinitely in all directions. So, flat surface, ibig sabihin pwede siyang square. Kadalasan po ito ay nire-represent ng square, ng rectangle. Okay? So, paano naman natin siya i-represent dito? Ayan. So, nag-extend po yan. Pwedeng mag-extend going to left, going to right, going up, or going down. Okay? Pero kadalasan, iyan po ay nire-represent ng quadrilateral or yung four-sided figure. Yan. Yan ang itsura or pwedeng i-represent ang plane. So, how we can name a plane? So, a plane is named by a single script capital letter or by any 3 points in the plane which are not on the same line, and then the representation can be named by plane N, plane ABD, and plane ABDC. So, tandaan po natin para tayo mag-name kung ang point ay isang capital letter lang po kasi point nga lang yon. Kapag naman line po, pwedeng 2 points and then, or pwede ring single letter. Dito naman po sa plane, capital script letter, isang capital script letter na nasa loob ng ating plane, or pwede rin naman po siyang 3 capital letters na nasa, hindi daw dapat na nasa iisang line. Okay? So, pwedeng yung A, B, D, pwede rin pong B, A, C, pwede rin A, C, D, pwedeng B, D, C, pwede rin pong D, C, A. So, kahit ano po doon. Basta tandaan po natin, dapat consecutively natin siya sasabihin. Hindi po pwedeng magkakabaliktad. Another ay pwede rin po siyang using 4 capital letters, yung point mismo na nandoon sa ating plane. So, pwede siyang A, plane A, B, D, C, or pwede rin naman pong plain CABD, or pwedeng baliktad, CDBA. So, napakaraming pwedeng pangalan ng ating plane. So, ano po yung other information natin para sa plane? It has infinite length and width, but no thickness. A plane is commonly denoted as closed, slanted, four-sided figure. So, kung ang ating point ay wala siyang sukat, ang ating line, meron lang siyang length pero wala siyang lapad. Dito naman sa ating plane, meron siyang length at meron din po siyang width. Pero, wala siyang thickness o yung kapal. Okay? So, plane figure lang talaga siya. And, tandaan po natin, kadalasan ito ay nire-represent ng slanted, four-sided figure. So, ano naman po ang concrete and pictorial model na pwede nating makita sa ating mga bahay? So, a sheet of paper. Kung meron tayong mga papel, di ba? Pilas tayo ng isa. So, yung surface po ng ating paper ay nire-represent niya ang plane. The surface of a table. Ayan, yung ibabaw ng table natin, pwede. The surface of our cellphone. O yung screen of our cellphone, pwede rin po yun. So, those are some concrete and pictorial model of our plane. So, let us now identify the relationship between points, lines, and planes. Since natandaan na natin or nalaman na natin sino ba yung points, sino ba yung line, at sino ba yung plane, so ano naman yung mga relationship niya sa bawat isa? So, a definition is a statement that gives clear meaning to a word or phrase. Using the undefined terms, we can define other terms in geometry. So, tandaan po natin yung mga word na definition. Okay? Yung mga theorem. Yan, maririnig nyo yan sa mga susunod na geometry natin. Pag sinabing definition, ayan, yung mga definition, dinedefine natin yung isang word. So, nag-give those to ng clear meaning sa ating word or sa ating phrases. Samantalang, yung mga undefined terms naman natin ay nagbibigay ng other terms sa ating geometry. Kasi once na nag-combine ang ating points, ang ating lines, at ang ating planes, ay nabubuo po yung ating mga figure. Okay? So, yun ang alamin natin. So, remember that the relationship between points, lines, and planes, a space is the set of all points. So, one good example of set of all points, ang space is ang ating langit or ang ating sky, especially sa gabi. 'Di ba? Once na tumingin tayo sa ating mga ulap or sa ating sky, makikita po natin yung mga different stars. At the different stars, yun po yung nagre-represent ng ating points. So, a space is the set of all points. Another is, a figure is any set of points. So, tandaan natin, lahat ng figure natin ay set po siya ng any points. So, ano-ano pang figure? Yung rectangle, yung square, yung triangle, yung space natin, di ba? Yung table nga, yung ibabaw ng table. Yung yung screen natin sa cellphone. So, figure pa rin po yan. At lahat po yan ay binubuo ng different points. Then, we also have what we call the collinear points. O, tandaan natin collinear are points that lie on the same line. Kaya nga, ibig sabihin, kasama. Linear sa iisang linya. Okay? So, ito po ang example ng collinear points. So, point A, B, and C are collinear points. Ayan. So, ma'am, paano po yun kung dalawa lang po? Pwede po kayang collinear points. Ang kadalasan po na tinatawag na collinear points ay 3 o higit pang point na nasa iisang line. Tandaan po natin, para matawag na collinear points, dapat 3 pataas na point ay nasa iisang line. And then another is what we call the non-collinear collinear points. Kung kanina ang collinear nasa iisang line, sabi dito non-collinear. So that is points are points that do not lie on the same line. So ano po example? Yung point E, F, G, sila ay collinear. Pero since may point D at wala siya sa iisang line, so non-collinear. So we can say that points D, E, F, and G are non-collinear because D is not on the line. So, tandaan na, si point E, F, G, pag tinanong, how about point E, F, G? So, kung yung tatlo lang po ang itatanong, collinear siya. Pero since sinama si T or si point D, so non-collinear po siya dahil wala siya sa iisang line. Another is the coplanar points. Co, tapos planar. So, kasama sa iisang plane are points that lie in the same plane. So, ganito po ang itsura niya. Si point H, si point I, at si point J, kung mapapansin natin, ay nasa loob siya ng ating plane. Since nasa loob po sila, we can say that point H, I, and J are coplanar points. So, meron din po tayong tinatawag na non-coplanar points. So, those are the points that do not lie on the same plane. So, anong example niyan? Ayan. Si point K, point L, at point M ay nasa loob ng plane. Pero, si point N ay wala. So, we can say that points K, L, M, and N are non-coplanar points because N is not on the plane. So, since lumabas si N, hindi na po tayo coplanar. Non-coplanar points na po yan. Yan po ang relationship between the points, lines, and planes. So, remember that the intersection of a geometric figures is the set of all points that are common to the given figure. So, tandaan natin, pag sinabing intersection, kadalasan ito ay naririnig natin sa kalsada. Diba? Mayroon siyang intersection, ibig sabihin, may dalawang kalsada na merong point of intersection o yung pinakagitna niya or gitna nila. Okay? So, meron tayong figure 1, kung makikita natin. Si figure 2, ayan. Si figure 3, at si figure 4. So, ano ang kinalaman ng apat na figure? So, sa figure 1, so represent the intersection of two lines. So, merong lines na dalawang line na nag-intersect. Okay? Si line DF, ito yan. Line DF and line EG. Okay? Para makita natin ng husto, lagyan po natin ng kulay. Ayan. Ito na lang red. Okay? So, line DF, ito po yun. At si line EG. Ayan. So, kung mapapansin po natin na yung dalawang point po ay nag-intersect kay point F. Ayan. Contains point F. Therefore, the intersection of two lines is a point and the point is called the point of intersection. Okay? So, since nagkaroon po sila ng intersection, so, ang tawag po sa kanya ay point of intersection. Si point F. Another, yung figure 2 naman po represent the intersection of two planes. Okay? So, si plane D, ito yun, at si plane C. Ayan. Kung i-figure out natin, i-imagine natin, ito po yung plane D. Ito yun. Ayan. Ayan po si plane D. Ayan. Ngayon, si plane E, or plane C, ito naman po yung plane C. So, kung makikita natin, meron siyang kapag sila po ay nag-intersect, makakabuo po ng line. Ito yung pinakagitna. Okay? So, notice that common to both planes D and C is line AB. Ito po, si line AB. Therefore, the intersection of two planes is a line. Kung kanina, ang intersection ng two line ay point, ngayon naman po, ang intersection ng dalawang plane is a line. So, the broken line symbolizes that it is in the back part of the figure. So, tandaan na, kung ang dalawang line nag-intersect, meron siyang point of intersection. Kapag naman po dalawang plane ang nag-intersect, that is the intersection of two plane is a line. Okay? So, next one is the figure 3. So, that represents the intersection of line EF. Ayan. Sino po yung line EF? Ito po yun. Yung line muna. Ayan. Tapos, nag-intersect siya kay plane G. So, ito yung plane natin. Ayan. So, kung gusto nyong itry, pwede po natin gamitin yung ating mga papel. Ayan, itusok nyo lang sa pinakagitna ng papel natin. So, yun yung nagre-represent yung ballpen natin, yun nagre-represent ng ating line, at yung papel natin, yun naman yung plane. So, notice that the common of both line and plane is point F. So, therefore, the intersection of a line and a plane is a point. Okay? So, note that the intersection of a line and plane can be an empty set if the line is parallel to the plane. The intersection of a line and a plane can also be a line if the plane contains that line. Okay? Pagka daw nakaslant, pwedeng wala siyang walang point of intersection, or pwede na namang marami or line din po ang point of intersection niya. Okay? So, tandaan natin, ang intersection ng plane at ng line is a point. And then, the last figure, yan, yung figure natin, as you can see, represent plane I. Ito po yung plane natin. Ayan. So, naputol lang po siya. Ayan, yung plane I po natin. And then, contains two lines. Ayan, may dalawang lines tayo. Si line HJ and line LM. So, two lines do not have any point in common. Hindi sila nag-meet. Okay? Wala silang point of intersection. And even if you extend the two lines, there will be no intersection. So, these are called the parallel lines. So, kapag hindi sila talaga magkikita kahit pahabain natin yung line na yan, pahabain nyo yung line na yan, hindi pa rin po sila magkikita. So, ang tawag po sa kanila ay parallel lines, yung dalawang line. Therefore, two coplanar lines that do not intersect are called the parallel lines. So, ano po yung good example nito? Yung poste natin sa bahay. 'Di ba? Kung ang poste natin sa bahay ay nakatayo, ayan, may poste tayong dalawa. 'Di ba? Or kadalasan, 4 ang poste. Kailangan 4 ang poste natin sa bahay. Na kahit anong mangyari, kahit pahabain natin yung mga poste natin sa bahay, ay hindi po sila mag-i-intersect. Kasi once na nag-intersect ang ating poste sa bahay, pwede po siyang bumagsak. Okay? So, yan po ang important siya, or the importance ng ating parallel lines. Next one is what we call the subset of a line. So, nalaman po natin kanina sino ba yung line. So, sabi natin, kapag sinabing line, ayan, isang mahabang linya, tapos may dalawang arrow po sa ating line. Then, meron tayong tinatawag na subset of a line. Pag sinabing subset of a line, mula dun sa ating line na to, magkakaroon pa tayo ng another line. So, sino-sino ba yon? So, the first one is what we call the line segment. It is a subset of a line consisting two endpoints and all the endpoints in between. Ayan. Kailangan lang nila ng dalawang endpoint. Ibig sabihin, mawawala yung arrow. Hindi natin kailangan ng arrow. At kapag sinabing line segment, eksakto po yung line niya. Hindi pwedeng humaba or hindi rin naman pwedeng umikli. Okay? So, eksakto lang po yung sukat niya. So, for example, ayan, figure 1. So, may point S at may point O na kinumbine or nag-connect dun sa ating line. So, we can name this as line segment SO. So, line segment SO, just the same with line segment OS. So, kahit baliktarin natin yung letter niya, parehas pa rin po kasi parehas yung sukat. Pag kinuha natin yung sukat nitong dalawa ni SO, ay parehas kay line segment OS rather. So, tandaan po natin ha, line segment na may dalawang endpoint. So, another figure, yan, given po yan. So, let us name the line segment. Sino-sino ba yung line segment? So, in figure 2, we can form 6 different line segment, which are as follows. Sino-sino po? Kukunin nyo lang po yung may point. Ayan, kagaya nito, si AB. Ayan, si line segment AB. Line segment AC. Ayan, basta dalawang endpoint. At tandaan, 2 capital letters lang po ang pwede pangalan ni line segment. Okay? So, pwede rin si line segment AD. Pwede rin po si line segment BC, line segment BD, at si line segment DC. Ayan. Or pwedeng si CD. Pwedeng baliktad kasi. Note that naming different line segment is based on the 2 endpoints. So, tandaan natin, kailangan ng 2 endpoints. Without listing the different line segment, we can know the number of line segment formed in the given line using the formula. O ma'am, paano kung napakarami? For example, 10 yung points natin. So, paano natin malalaman kung gaano karami? Kasi pag inilista natin kagaya nito, ito 4 points lang. Paano kung 10 na points? So, napakarami nun. Okay? So, meron po tayong ginagamit na formula. Ano po yun? So, yung N or the number of line segment times or points, number of points, yung N times the quantity N minus 1 all over 2. Where N is the number of points in the given line. So, yan po yung formula na gagamitin natin mamaya. So, 2 line segment are said to be congruent segment if they have the same measure or length. So, tandaan, congruent, ibig sabihin parehas ng length. For example, si line segment AB, ayan, line segment AB is equal to 5. Ayan, 5 centimeter. Then, si line segment CD, ayan, si line segment CD is also equal to 5 centimeter. So, since parehas po silang 5 centimeter, therefore, we can say that line segment AB is congruent to line segment CD. Paano po natin ipapakita yon? So, given yung AB natin, ayan, line segment AB, at tandaan po ang symbol natin ay line lang, kahit hindi nyo lagyan ng tuldok, since line lang po, walang arrow. Okay? Is congruent, ayan, yung line, tapos, mayroong parang S sa taas na nakahiga. Ayan, is congruent to line segment CD. So, yan po ang ating congruent lines or 2 line segments are congruent kapag parehas ang sukat nila. To know the measure of a line segment in a given line, we get the absolute value of the difference of the coordinates of the 2 given points. So, kasi minsan, ang binibigay pong line ay yung ating number line, which has negative numbers. Pero ang kinukuha lang naman doon yung distance, yung layo ng bawat line. So, kukunin nyo lang po yung absolute value nun. Another subset of a line is what we call ray. So, tandaan natin, pag sinabing line segment, kanina, dalawang endpoint. Ano naman po yung ray? Pag sinabi pong ray, ayan, wait lang. Ayan. Pag sinabi naman pong ray, siya naman po is only one endpoint. Ayan, may point po sa dulo. And then, yung isa ay extend indefinitely in only one direction. Meaning, kung ang isa ay endpoint, yung tuldok, dapat daw po, yung isa naman daw po ay arrow. Okay? Kasi nag-e-extend siya. So, for example, ayan, yung figure 3 natin. So, may point yung M natin, and then ang arrow po natin ay yung nasa U. So, in figure 3, may be called as ray MU. So, tandaan po natin kapag tayo nag-name, uunahin natin palagi sino yung nasa point or nasa endpoint. So, ang nasa endpoint po natin ay si M. Okay? So, ray, and then yung endpoint muna bago yung arrow. So, we can name this as ray MU. Now, we name a ray with its endpoint first, followed by another point on the ray. Ha? Dapat yung endpoint muna. Ma'am, pwede pong baliktad yan. Unahin po yung nasa arrow, hindi po. Unless kung meron siyang arrow sa left side. Pwede yon. Pero since ito po ay ray MU lang po siya, hindi siya pwedeng ray UM. Mali po yon. So, ray MU lang. So, using the figure 2, we can form 6 different rays, which are as follows. So, pwede po siya gamit yung kanina nating figure. So, basta tandaan natin, yung isa po, for example, dun sa AB, yung isa, yung point A dyan, ay siya po yung endpoint. Si B yung pinaka-arrow, kasi may arrow naman sa right side. So, pwede siyang ray AB, ray BC, ray DC, ray BA, ray CB. Pwede rin pong ray AC, ray AD. So, pwede siya. Pwede basta makaka-form po tayo ng ating ray or isang endpoint at isang arrow. And then, without listing the different rays kagaya kanina. So, without kahit hindi natin isulat lahat ng ray kasi minsan marami pong binibigay na points, 'di ba? Dito kasi 4 lang yung point na binigay. Pero paano kung 10 points, 20 na points ang ibibigay? Paano natin aalamin kung gaano karaming ray ang mafo-form natin? So meron po tayong formula which is 2 times the quantity n minus 1, where n is the number of points in the given line. So, mamaya alamin natin, kagaya kanina dun sa ating line segment. Next one is what we call the opposite rays. Rays that with a common endpoint but extending in opposite direction. So, may common endpoint po siya pero nag-extend siya in opposite direction. So, let us have this example. So, name the different line segment, rays, and opposite rays formed by a figure below. So, given po itong line natin, so, i-name muna daw po natin yung line segment. So, sino-sino po yung line segment? So, line segment CU, ayan, si line segment CU, si line segment CT, line segment CE, line segment UT, line segment UE, and line segment TE. So, tandaan, parehas lang po ang line segment CU at line segment UC. Another is rays. So, sino-sino yung ray? So, basta tandaan yung isa pong point dyan ay endpoint and then the other one is ray. So, si ray CU, ray UT, ray TE, ray ET, ray TU, ray UC. So, yun po yung ating mga rays. And then, sino naman po yung opposite rays? So, when we say opposite ray, dapat parehas po ang endpoint. So, we can name that as ray UC and ray UT. Ayan, ang endpoint niya or common endpoint niya ay si U. And another one is ray TU and ray TE. Ito po, TU, ito yung endpoint, and then ito yung arrow, and then ray TE. Okay? So, yan po ang ating opposite rays. So, let us identify the number of line segment and rays formed in a given line. So, given po yung una ay 7 points. And then, the other one ay 13 points. Diba napag-usapan natin kanina? Paano kung hindi natin kailangan isulat lahat? Kasi nga, ang dami nun. So, paano natin malalaman yung line segment at ray ng given line? So, given ang letter A, which is 7 points, ayan. So, given po ang line segment na ang formula natin ay n times the quantity n minus 1 over 2. So, papalitan lang po natin yung n ng 7. So, 7 times the quantity 7 minus 1 over 2. And 7 minus 1 is 6. So, magiging 7 times 6 over 2. And 7 times 6 is 42. Divided by 2, the answer is 21. So, ibig sabihin, sa given na 7 points, makaka-form pala tayo ng 21 na line segment or makakabuo tayo ng line segment na 21. So, how about rays? So, given po ang ray natin, ang formula ay 2 times the quantity n minus 1. Ayan. So, papalitan lang po natin ng n ng 7. So, 2 times the quantity 7 minus 1 and 7 minus 1 is 6. So, therefore, 2 times 6. Then, 2 times 6 is 12. So, therefore, 12 na rays ang mapo-form natin given ang 7 na points. Another is, paano ko daw kapag ang given ay 13 points? Ayan. So, given again ang ating formula na n times the quantity n minus 1 over 2. Sa palitan lang po natin yung n ng 13. And 13 minus 1 is 12. So, 13 times 12 over 2. And 13 times 12 is 156. Over 2, the answer is 78. O, biruin nyo yun. Kung isusulat natin yung line na may 13 na points, 'di ba? So, ano na tayo, maghapon tayo nagsusulat or sinusulat natin sino-sino yung line segment kasi 78. Minsan paano pagka nalito pa tayo, 'di ba? So, yan, napakadali po na gamit yung ating formula. So, paano naman kapag rays? So, given again yung ating formula that 2 times the quantity n minus 1. Papalitan natin yung n ng 13. So, 13 minus 1 is 12. And 12 times 2 is 24. So, therefore, 24 na rays ang mapo-form natin sa 13 na points. So, yan po ang ating line segment at rays. So, naway marami tayong natutunan ngayong araw na ito. Yan ang ating maths sayang kwentuhan. Hanggang sa muli, huwag kalimutang i-click ang like, share, at subscribe. Paalam! God bless!